Good morning. Welcome to Ask Coffee Online Culinary Academy. My name is Chef Ceser. Today I'm going to show you how to properly clean calamari. The word calamari, meaning squid, comes from the Italian language, and this can be found throughout the Mediterranean countries, and all they use this very often. Now we have adopted this worldwide, pretty much. I mean, I'm sure some of you have gone to restaurants. You've seen, calamari on the menu. It could be fried, it could be a pasta stuff. You can make it many different ways, but the one thing that a lot of people don't know is the way to clean this and how it comes. Here I have some frozen squid, which is whole, not clean. You can always find them clean without, the tentacles or where it's sliced or breaded, but, it's always nice to make it yourself. And usually it comes like, packaged like this. This frozen product comes frozen. It's a 3-pound box. Also, you're going to find some like domestic or imported. The domestic one's a little more expensive, but they're also a little better because, there's about 300 species of squid out there, and this is a nice product, and you can find them in pretty much any supermarket in the frozen seafood section. And this is how they come. I want to show you like the way I bought them. This is like a whole squid. You can still see the head attached, their fins, the tentacles, everything. It's the whole body, and still have this little membrane outside. And to clean this thing is really easy. I mean, it still has the ink sac inside. A lot of, I'm sure you have seen probably, black pasta. That's how they make it. They buy the ink in the little bottle and they dye the pasta. It really doesn't have any flavor, just, for color, pretty much. But again, this is really easy to do. And some people, they never try calamari. They sometimes get intimidated because and somehow the reason why they don't like it, because maybe it wasn't prepared properly. Some places they buy the calamari already frozen, breaded, which is sometimes tougher. And if you want to make your calamari kind of, really tender, it's a good idea to soak in the milk overnight. The enzymes in the milk break down the proteins, and the meat, the calamari, makes them nice and tender. So to start cleaning these things, we want to, as you can see, it has a tentacle. Some are a little longer. It's got like two longer ones and the little ones. We want to just pull the head off. And you can see, and the head's got eyes. And inside here, I'm going to show you, it's got like a little beak. You want to take it out because it's like a little parrot's beak. That's how they kind of swallow their food and they catch a prey. So you can also just pull the head off, or you can cut it with a knife. If you pull the head off, you might squirt some in the eyes. Got like a little black. You can see this is the beak I was talking about. Sometimes it's a little tiny, but again, you want to take it off. It's like real tiny. It's got like a bone type of structure, and it looks like a parrot's beak, and it's really sharp. You don't want to eat this, and make sure you take it out. Some have a bigger one, depends on the size. And also when you buy them, you're gonna see like the size, like 5 to 8. That means that the length of the tooth, the inches. That's what it means. 5/8, 8/10. The bigger the size, the longer they're going to be. So that's how it works. And so we want to take this out. Also, we want to take this the tentacles. You want to cut a longer piece off. That's okay. You rinse them off. And now we're going to work with the body here. This got like little membranes. See, it's got like a little dots, and it's got the fins. You want to peel this off. It just peels really easy, as you can see. It's really simple to do, and you can make this in many different ways. You can stuff them, you can cut them in rings, cut them. I'm going to show you the way to cut them in a little bit. And we want to, all the skin, you did discard, and also we want to squeeze the stuff inside. They have all the insides there. I'm going to cut it open for you to see. It's got all the organs inside. As you can see, this is where it looks like a whole fish, when it has the guts inside. But that's why I have to I want to show you before you don't have to cut it open like this to clean it, but I'm going to show you in a little bit how to take everything out. And this is like I said, the guts. You want to discard all this stuff. I know some of you probably don't want to do this, but it's nice to know. Also, they have like a little plastic looking little tube here inside as part of their body. So this is also goes in the garbage. Sometimes you're gonna find little fish inside because that's what they eat, and many times you find small little whole fish in there inside their body. But again, this is like what you get. And also, like when you have it like this, if you want to cut like little sticks looking like a French fry, you can just cut it like this. It goes a long way. And keep in mind, if you stuff calamari, they shrink when you cook them. I mean, you can stuff them, bake them, or grill them before you bake them. And again, you only want to stuff them like 3/4 up to the top. Otherwise, when you stuff them all the way to the top, and the way you do it, you put a little toothpick on the top once it's stuffed, And you can, like I said, grill them and then finish them in the oven, but you don't want to stuff them all the way to the top, because this, when it cooks, it's going to shrink down and all the stuff is going to come out and the stuffing is going to just be wasted. So you want to go like 3/4 full, and then you put like a little toothpick on top to close the opening. That way you can either grill them, bake them, you can even deep fry them, but they're more popular to fry. And also when you stuff them, you can make a seafood stuffing or a simple breading with some cheese and herb stuffing, whatever your preference might be. But this is really easy to make. I mean, like I say, you can do them a day before. If you hold the milk, you can make a little. If you want to fry them, also make it just a real light, breading like flour, and you have some spices, some garlic, some herbs, and then you just flash fry them. You don't want to fry them too long. Sometimes people kind of get turned off because they think it's chewy. If done properly, calamari is supposed to be nice and tender. It's not supposed to be chewy like a rubber band. But sometimes, like I say, some establishments, they buy it already like pre-breaded. They already cut up into rings, and it's already breaded, frozen. And so you just take them and put them in the fryer. It's not like they bread them themselves, so they clean them like this. And also you can find them already clean. This is not clean. When it comes clean, it comes without this membrane. Also doesn't have this fin to take them off. And also the heads are detached. And everything inside is pretty much gone. But again, also, I forgot to tell you this. You have to turn them inside out. I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit for this one. You guys have any questions out there for me right now? They're kind of slippery, but again, be careful, because there's an ink sac inside. When you're like doing this, you might get splashed if you squeeze them too much. And it's really, it's going to stain your clothes, but it comes out. As you can see, it's really thin membrane. It's kind of slippery. I got my gloves on. As you can see, if you can just squeeze the stuff out of there, okay, like this if you want. See how it comes out? You don't have to cut them open. You can squeeze it out and then discard the inside part. Now, like I was saying, we want to turn them inside out because we want to really clean the inside part of the squid. What you do, you kind of hold like this, push your finger to the bottom. See? Once it comes to the top, you just pull it over like this. Okay, well, my gloves are kind of slippery with these things. And you hold it. See? Then you just discard these parts. Then you rinse them off really nice like this. You want to take those little mucus inside, take them off. And then you can do whatever you want. You want to cut them to little rings. Also, like I say, you can stuff them like this. And you can soak them, whole without cutting them too in milk. If you want to stuff them next day, if you want to make them nice and tender, you can, soak them in milk to tenderize them. Or you can cut them into little rings like this. And like I said, this is one of those things that if you want to try something different, something new, instead of, going to the restaurant and having it done for you, you can, do this at home. It's always nice to learn something new and, to be able to do it, especially our students, because you might be exposed to do something like this. One of these days when you get to work in the culinary industry, it's going to happen. See, it's, I usually do it on the water. That way they don't, if it splashes, it's like doesn't go all over my clothes. As you can see, my hands get dye because from the ink sac. So this is kind of, messy. And their eyes too, they have in their eyes like a little black liquid that when you pull the head off, it kind of splashes. So if you do it underwater, it's better. That way you don't get, all messy and stuff. And you can see the ink sac kind of ruptures too, and it makes a mess. Yes?
Any recipes for stuffing?
I can give you some. Like I was saying, you can make like a seafood stuffing with like a crab meat. You can add some onions, little egg to kind of hold it together, and like spices. So you can make, it's just a simple, Parmesan and breadcrumbs, like an Italian style stuffing. And that way, if you make like a seafood stuffing, it's already cooked. You don't have to cook them for too long. Only you have to warm it up. The same thing with the bread stuffing. You want to have the stuffing kind of, pre-cook ahead of time. So when you have to bake them, you don't have to cook them too long and then get them, too tough. Because if you cook them too long, they also get tough. You either want to, cook them like a flash fry. You only want to do them for like a minute and a half. When you fry them, you don't want them getting too crispy. I mean, it should be crispy, but not too overcooked. Otherwise, it starts to get like chewy. And like again, I can send you some recipes once I'm done here. And like I said, it's really nice and easy to do. And then once you get them stuffed, you want to cut them like in little wheels, so you have like a little round with the stuff in the middle. You know, put some marinara sauce or whatever sauce you want to do. A little lemon butter is what works really good too. But again, it's really easy to take care of this. It's kind of messy, I know, but you know what? It's always nice to kind of make your own things. That way you know where it came from and how you prepare it. So. And that way you know how you did it. And like I say, this is so simple to do. Some people honestly get turned off from calamari because they try it once and it wasn't done properly. Like I said before, it's like overcooked and they think it's chewy, so they kind of like they don't want to do it. But it's really popular too. You can saute them with some garlic, a little olive oil, garlic, and also grill them. Or you can make a pasta. That's really popular in the Italian cuisine. That you do a pasta with like a soup de mare, soup de pesce. And just a fettuccine calamari with a marinara sauce. You want to, saute them real quick, hit them with some marinara sauce, some, fresh herbs like basil, and just toss them in some nice fettuccine or linguine. Sometimes we do, also use the black pasta, like with the squid ink, and it goes hand in hand. And it's, it's really popular in Italian establishments in the Italian cuisine. And I mean, we do like, the Mexican restaurants do. They make it's like a cocktail. But they poach this and they put it in their own ink, so they kind of save the ink, and it's like a refreshing, like a shrimp cocktail. And they also add like other seafood along with squid, which calamari and shrimp, and they make like a cold cocktail that we do, which is really popular. And I mean, every culture has its own ways to preparing this calamaris. But again, if you do it right, it's wonderful. Seafood's great, but it's like cooking meat too. If you overcook meat, it's gonna taste dry and tough. Same thing with seafood, and seafood's got like a little window done this properly, because if you go over that, it's like a piece of meat takes a little longer to overcook. When it comes to this calamari, they're so small that you can really overcook them really quick. So you have to be really careful when you do seafood, like shrimp and especially calamari. It's more delicate than other proteins that we cook. For example, chicken, it has to be done. It has a little longer window that you can make little mistakes, but still be okay. Here, it's kind of not forgiven. When you overcook seafood, it's kind of ruined, and it only takes really short amount of time to overcook your seafood. So that's really the whole thing. But again, this is like if you want do it on the water, like I was saying, it's easy. You don't have to splash yourself with the ink and. Let's do another one here. As you can see, it's really easy to do. It's not complicated at all, but once you get used to it, you're gonna be really quick, And so these are kind of small. Sometimes you see really big ones. When I stuff them, I try to get the bigger ones because, like I said, they shrink a lot. So once you stuff them, you're gonna end up with a little tiny tube. And that's why when I used to stuff calamaris when I used to work in the restaurant. I used to get the bigger ones. That way you have like a bigger, piece of meat. I think we have a question. Yes, sir.
Can you repeat the question when you're done?
Sure.
How long do you soak the squid in milk?
The question was, how long do you soak the squid in milk? You can soak it overnight. If you're going to do it tomorrow, you can do it 5 hours or overnight. The longer, the better. But seafood's real delicate. You don't want to keep it too long in the refrigerator. In the restaurant, we just clean as we need it. Like for the day or two, and then because it goes bad quick, so you don't want to serve it bad. Spoiled calamari or seafood, so you can do it overnight and then cook them next day. That's really my best recommendation. Anything else?
Yeah, actually, there's one more question.
We have another question here.
Do you cut the tops off the head?
Do we cut the tops off the head? Like you mean like the tentacles? Or we cut the eyes off? Okay, I want to show you. Do another one here. This is the eyes right here. I want to clear this off. This is the eyes right here. These are the tentacles. No, we leave this off. You can cut the longer tubes. Sometimes when they're bigger, they have really long. They have too long tentacles. You want to cut them off. But the little ones, you can leave them there. You can actually eat them too. But and sometimes in the restaurant you can buy them without the tentacles, but they're more expensive. But yeah, you do cut it off. Let's see. You have this. You can pull it out, and some of the cuts comes out. So you want to cut the eyes off like this. And you could just rip it off. And inside here, it's got this little beak. This is like a parrot's beak, and it's sharp. And you want to discard it. Sometimes it stays attached over here, but now you can see like a little hole in here. This is where it was. This is how they eat. So you want to throw this away, and you only want to end up with this tentacles like this. If they're too long, you want to cut them off. That way they're not, kind of, tangled with the other stuff. And this is how you do it. Just you have the little short tentacles, and that's how you can fry it. You should saute it, and like I said, it's up to you. Some people don't like to eat these tentacles. They just want to eat the tubes, and that's fine too, because you can also buy them without the tentacles. You just buy the tubes, but they're a little more expensive. Like this one's comes whole, so everything is attached. And sometimes you buy them that they're clean. I mean, they're not fully clean. They means clean. They don't have their fins. The heads are detached, and their eyes are gone. You only have some of the inside part, those little membranes inside. You want to flip it inside out and clean them still. So you have to turn them inside out like I did before, and rinse them really well under some water, and take all the little membranes that's attached, because you're going to have some membranes in there. You don't want to serve that. And then you can cut them after that, or you can do whatever you want. And also you can soak the whole tubes in milk to tenderize them, and then stuff them. But actually, if you want to fry them, I recommend cutting this before you soak them. That way you don't make a mess. You have to take them out and do them again. So it's like double work. So you just do all the work at once. And like I said, do you have any more questions? And this is like, I hope this is something you guys are willing to try. It's sometimes people they don't like to touch seafood like this, but you know what? We're in this world. We gotta try. We're chefs. We have to try everything, and we have to learn new things, and not rely on other people to make it for us. And sometimes of course it's easy to buy the stuff already prepared, but you know what? And then you want to save some money. When you're in the industry, you want to kind of do something like yourself, make them fresh. I mean, while you buy them breaded. I mean, those places they do, but they have the different type of places. They want to they don't have a lot of they do take pride, but they want to kind of make easy money, and they don't want to spend the labor hours in doing this, because it takes a little while to actually prepare them. But at the end of the day, they taste better. They're more tender. They're nicer, and then you made them in your own establishment or in your own home. You can do this at home too. You buy a little box like this, and actually when you cut them, they shrink a lot when you cook them. So they're not going to be like a big even though this is like 3 pounds, once you cook them, it's going to yield less, because you're going to have a lot of waste. So you're not going to be having like 3 pounds of product. It's going to be a lot less, because some of the stuff is going to go in the garbage, like you see the inside and everything, the heads, and you're going to have a lot less product. So you can still buy some little box like this and try to make it at home. You can make a nice pasta. Right now it's summertime. You can grill them in your grill. Try to stuff them, and you can do so many different things. Make a nice salad with it. You can poach them and then cool them off, and then mix some olive oil, some vegetables, and make a nice salad with it. It's really nice, and I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope we can try this at home. And now it's like you can see, it's really easy to do. Don't get intimidated. I mean, we all got to start somewhere. This is like simple thing to do. Cleaning and cutting calamari is just one of those things that I enjoy. I'm a chef, and I like to work with seafood. It's my favorite. Cutting this kind of stuff like fish and meats. I enjoy doing all that. It's really fun and interesting, and it's nice that the more you know, the better you're gonna be off once you go to the industry. It's nice to know this kind of things. The chef's gonna ask you, how to do this. Well, yes, and if not, try it. Don't be, like, oh, I don't want to touch it. You can put some gloves on, and again, this is something that it's really nice, and you can do it. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next week with a wonderful topic.